Already? 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Don't do my clapping.
10 seconds.
That was 10 seconds.
What is up, guys? It's Benji here.
Hey guys, it's Anthony.
And welcome back as a long hiatus at the bar. We were renovating. We were renovating the office. Very good. No, I'm just kidding, guys. There was a little bit of adult things we had to do, so that's why we were away. And to be honest, August, it's a little bit slow. There isn't too many movies. It's kind of like everybody saved their money from going to watch movies. But we did catch a new one that came out probably about a week or two ago that a lot of people were actually talking about. And we did really want to do this as something you guys could watch, which is...
We also reported it in a hub earlier this year. Mm-hmm. We're reviewing tonight Death Note. It's directed by Adam Wingard, and you know him from one of your favorite movies.
Yes, VHS. It's one of the horror movies, one of my favorite horror movies of all time, actually.
And then a horrible movie called Blair Witch that came out earlier this year.
Okay, I thought he did the original, but he just did that.
No,
it wasn't bad. It was okay. It was a weird ending.
It was alright.
It was an okay movie, and he's actually in talks or rumored to be in the Godzilla versus King Kong in 2020. If that's coming out, who knows when that will be coming out, but we have a date for the King Kong movie.
Right.
But yeah, let's go a little bit into it. This is actually a reimagined version of an animated series, Death Note. So a lot of the characters are changed. A lot of the setting is changed from the series.
Right.
And it's about actually a notebook that falls from the sky.
Literally.
And it's called Death Note. What it is, it's a book that where if you write someone's name and how they die, they actually die.
You have to picture their name.
They have to actually picture their face. They actually die in real life. And it gets a little bit more intense because it kind of goes into, decisions and choices and really, really understanding the consequences of what it is, because you are actually messing with one of my favorite characters from the show, which is the Death God, which is Ryuk. Ryuk is actually voiced by William Dafoe. You know him from like Green Goblin. You've seen him in other like action villainous movies, but I know him mostly from the Green Goblin from that movie. But yeah, he does an amazing job. The animation, the CGI of the film actually really looks good. A lot of the times he is in the shadows, which is a little bit off-putting just because
I like that.
It's good, but this is where we're going to get into the decisions later on. A little more into
the creative decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it's just because a lot of movie was changed. Ryuk was great. He was a good choice of voice. I actually see him, William, playing that character in real life if it was such a real character. He just has that like ominous voice, that scary demeanor. Like it's amazing, and it's probably one of the best parts of the film.
Like Christopher Walken almost, right? Like another one. That's another kind of voice where you're just like, oh,
it's
always ominous.
It's so powerful. Yeah. It's so great of like the character you can play. But it's actually one of the stronger characters, and it kind of sucks because he is kind of a minor character in the film. In the film itself, he's a minor one. He's not a lot in the part, so it's kind of off-putting. One of the main characters, which is Light Turner, played by Nat Wolff.
Weak.
Yes, it was bland. He was very bland, very different from the animation, and I'm going to be saying that a lot, which it's going to be a little bit off-putting, but I'll explain why. He was a little weak in the movie. I felt that he was bland. He overacting at certain points in the film.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
So I come a little bit different, or a lot different, I should say, from Ben, because I made a choice not to look at the anime prior to this review, but guess what? Because of this film, I am definitely going to be checking out the anime. I felt that Nat Wolff did not do his job. I hate when movies cast someone and they let you down. Like you could tell from the first 10 minutes of this movie that this guy was going to let you down. After the first fight scene where the whole like in the puddle, the teacher.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird. Like there was points where he was trying to be scary cool, and then other points where he was very geeky, and there was other points where he was kind of like cowardly. It was weird. It was a lot of mixed emotions for a character.
And the cowardly scene, like it was funny. I didn't feel bad for this guy. I was kind of laughing when this stuff was happening to him.
Yeah, and I think it was a little bit off-putting just because of the controversy that we've had in Hollywood, picking the wrong ethnicity for the correct parts. So a lot of people know it. It's whitewashed Hollywood. Like a lot of people are using, white characters instead of the actual Asian, black, different ethnicities out there. And it's kind of off-putting because it kind of causes issues, especially in the situation where we're in, where this movie's moved from Japan to Seattle. That's a big, big change that you're taking away from the fans, from people that love this series.
Diehard fans.
Exactly. But don't get me wrong. That's another thing I want to talk about, that sometimes choosing a different ethnicity is really good. A good example would be Elle. In this situation, he's playing Lakeith Stanfield. You've seen him in Get Out. He was the one that got kidnapped in the beginning. Or if you've seen Atlanta, which is one of the best shows I've ever seen, and you guys should check that out. He's actually one of the cousin's friends rapper. the cousin's friend, yeah, something like that. But yeah, he did a great job as Elle. It was a little bit off-putting because I know that the way the anime works and the way Elle, the character, is, they try to portray that with this specific character in the movie. It just wasn't working for him. But the way they made him look cool and suave and kind of creepy but awkward at the same time really worked. He did a great job. I think he's going to be an amazing upcoming actor. But I don't know if this was the part to really put him at. This is where ethnicity and all of that choices kind of troubles me because you're getting an Asian character and giving it to the black guy. Is that the same thing? Is it not the same thing because he's not white? I don't know. That's a question I would love to ask you guys. Like, what do you guys think of that? But yeah, like overall, he did an okay job. He did a great thing. But I personally have a lot of problems with the way the story was portrayed, the way it's explained, the things I know and why this movie failed, in my opinion.
There's a lot of pacing problems with this movie too. Getting back real quick to Elle, the character, because I didn't know any of the source material, I felt that Elle worked really well for this movie, but that's because I don't know the animation. So I felt that this was a good casting because I think he was very smooth and cool and awkward at times, especially when he's eating the candy and all that. But I can understand what you're saying about the double standard with the white and black characters and Asian. And
kind of going into why I believe this movie failed. It failed because of what you're using and what I've said before. Whenever you have a fan base that's very huge, you have a 50-50 new fans and non-fans, right? You have people that are really passionate about the series and they want this movie to be great, and then you have the people that are going blindly into a film. This movie is gonna be okay for those people. The people that are blind, the people that don't know what's going on, this movie might be okay. It's actually pretty decent, storyline. It's like whatever. But if you do know the story, you're going to see a lot of flaws.
What did you think about it's very gruesome. It was almost Final Destination-ish.
It's supposed to be. You have a book that you can literally kill anybody, anywhere, anytime. It's supposed to be. You don't like gruesome. I like gruesome. I love gruesome.
I don't mind gruesome if it moves the story along, but I felt that sometimes it was a little gratuitous. I mean, the decapitation in the beginning, I mean, it's pretty cool.
See, you're the kind of gruesome where it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is worth it because it's where I'm the kind of gruesome where Hills of Eyes. It's not needed, but I want it kind of thing.
Maybe we should review that in October, Ben.
But that's the thing. The problem with this film is when you go into seeing it like I have, I've seen the animated series, I've seen the anime, I've read some of the manga. I love this story. It did get a little bit run on, but the problem with this film is when you know too much of a film, it kind of lets down, it kind of discredits what they put out there. And to this day, I don't think I've ever seen a great iteration of an anime or a video game or any kind of comic book movie. Well, comic books, okay.
It's really hard.
It's very hard. It's very hard to keep a balance in between. And the problem here is that you're changing a lot of the original story and you're leaving a lot of the big secrets.
And they're condensing it, right?
This movie's only an hour and 40 minutes. It's a very short time to explain over 100 and something episodes of a series. And the problem is, when you're changing all of these little things, like just simply as changing it from Japan to Seattle, and then you have Elle, which is he's an Asian character, very more awkward, very the way he was in the show and the way they want to portray him here, which was exactly a copy. But then you get this cool, suave,
a ninja
vibe kind of thing, and it just didn't make sense. And that's what sucks about it. It sucks because this movie could have done great. I think if they would have made this a series, maybe not a show, but maybe like an hour and a half long episodes kind of thing, this would have been great.
So what would you give this movie?
Overall, I'm gonna give this movie a 5. As someone that seen the animation and seen the anime and seen all that, I'm gonna give this a 5. And that's just because I really liked Ryuk. I really like where that was going. Elle really surprised me in this film. I think he's a great actor and I think he did really well. So some of the parts were great. I did love the gore. I did love that they kept the Death Note book itself, the same as the anime. Mm-hmm. So like the concept and all that was great. So that was good. But overall, it's a 5. I would give this maybe a little bit higher if I didn't see the original series.
Well, that's funny you should say that because I'm also going to give it a 5. And with me not knowing the backstory or the source material, I felt the pacing. It's really good intro, but in the middle it's kind of boring, and then it's fast ending. You're like, wait, what's going on? I need to rewind this and to catch some of the loopholes or the plot lines that they did. I think the best thing in this movie is Ryuk. Yeah. So it's on Netflix, you know. So turn on the TV, fold some laundry, watch it. It'll be all right.
But you know what, guys? Let us know. Let us know down below. What's one of the iterations that you think has failed miserably, where they didn't really do justice to it? Me personally was Mario Brothers. That really upset me as a film.
Damn. Yeah. I'm still waiting for Voltron. If they ever make Voltron, I'm sure I won't be happy.
Yeah, guys. So don't forget to comment down below and hit that like button as well.
Don't forget to check us out on social media. We're very active on Instagram. We're on Tumblr, Twitter, and we're also on Facebook.
Yeah, it's all down below for the links. You guys can click there. All right, guys. If you guys like the review, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome videos. Have a good one.